Somebody told you to just add an MCP server. So you did, and it still didn't do the thing you wanted. Here's the part nobody explains. Half the time, MCP was never the right tool. You needed a skill. And most people cannot tell the two apart. By the end of this video, you'll never confuse them again. And you'll know exactly which one to reach for every single time. Hundreds of you asked for this exact video. What is MCP? What are skills? Aren't they the same thing? They are not. And the confusion isn't your fault. These two features look similar. They get talked about in the same breath. And almost nobody draws the line clearly. So let me draw it for you in one sentence right now. Here it is. MCP gives Claude new hands. Skills give Claude new habits. That's the whole thing. MCP is about reach, connecting Claude to the outside world, your email, your database, your GitHub. Skills are about behavior, teaching Claude a repeatable way to do something it already can do. New hands, new habits. Hold on to that, because everything else in this video hangs off it. Let's start with the hands. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, and the official description is the best one. It's a USB-C port for AI. One standard plug that lets Claude connect to anything, your tools, your data, your services. For most people, the easiest way in isn't code at all. It's a one-click connector. You open Claude, you connect Gmail or GitHub or Notion, and suddenly Claude can actually reach into those tools and act. Under the hood, there's a host, a client, and a server. And each connection exposes three things: tools Claude can run, resources it can read, and prompts it can reuse. But you don't need to memorize that. Just remember, MCP is how Claude touches the world outside itself. Here's what that looks like for real. I connect a server. I ask Claude a question that needs live data. And instead of guessing, it reaches out, pulls the real answer, and hands it back. No copy-paste. No stale information. That reach is the entire point of MCP. If the job needs Claude to go get something or do something that lives outside the chat, MCP is your tool. Now the habits. A skill is a small folder with one file called SKILL.md. Inside, you write instructions. How you want a specific job done, step by step, the way you'd explain it to a new teammate. Then here's the magic. Claude reads a one-line description of that skill. And when your request matches, it loads the full instructions automatically. You don't invoke anything. It just knows. And it only loads the heavy detail when it's actually needed, so it costs you almost nothing until it fires. A skill doesn't connect Claude to anything new. It teaches Claude your way of doing a thing, on repeat. That's a habit. Watch the difference. I've got a skill that summarizes my uncommitted code changes and flags anything risky. I don't type a command. I just ask, what did I change? Claude recognizes the pattern, loads the skill, and runs my exact procedure every time the same way, without me re-explaining it. That's the tell. A skill is packaged know-how. Write it once, and Claude has the habit forever. Quick one. Think of subscribing, like installing a single skill on your own brain. Hit that button, and every week it auto-loads the one AI workflow that actually works. No fluff, no hype. It plugs right in. So if this is finally making MCP and skills click, subscribe, and follow on Instagram and Facebook too, all linked below. Okay, back to it, because this next part is where most people get it wrong. Let's put them side by side. MCP connects to external systems. A skill encodes a procedure. MCP runs as a separate server, local or remote. A skill is just a file that loads inside your session. MCP is about access. A skill is about behavior. MCP answers, can Claude reach this? A skill answers, does Claude do this my way? Different questions, different tools, which brings us to the one test that settles it. Here's the test. Ask yourself one question. Do I need Claude to touch something outside itself? Or do I need Claude to repeat a procedure? If it needs to touch something outside, a live API, your database, a third-party app, that's new hands. That's MCP. If it already can do the job and you just want it done your way, every time, that's a new habit. That's a skill. Touch the outside world MCP. Repeat a procedure skill. That one question will save you hours of installing the wrong thing. And here's what almost nobody tells you: this was never either or. The real power move is using both. MCP gives Claude the hands to reach your GitHub. A skill gives Claude the habit of using those hands correctly. Your review checklist, your naming rules, your deploy steps. The MCP is the connection. The skill is the judgment on top of it. Hands do the reaching. Habits make the reaching smart. Together, that's when Claude stops feeling like a chatbot and starts feeling like a teammate. Let's kill the myths fast. Myth 1: MCP is something you install like an NPM package. No, it's a protocol, like HTTP. You connect to servers, you don't install a language. Myth 2: skills are always loaded and eat your tokens. No, only the one line description sits in context. The full skill loads only when it fires. Myth 3: MCP servers run on Anthropic's computers. No, they run on your machine or a server you point to. You're in control. Myth 4: pick one and stick with it. Wrong. The best setups use both every day. So here's everything in 30 seconds. MCP is new hands. It connects Claude to the outside world, and for beginners, the easiest door in is a one-click connector. Skills are new habits. A skill.md file that teaches Claude your repeatable way of doing a job. The test: touch the outside world means MCP. Repeat a procedure means skill. And the pros use both together. Tonight, do two things. Connect one tool you already use. Then write one tiny skill for a task you keep re explaining. That's it. You'll feel the difference immediately. I made you a free MCP versus skills decision kit: the cheat sheet, the flowchart, the exact setup commands, and 10 starter recipes you can copy tonight. Grab it with the keyword in the description and pinned comment. If you want to go deeper, my beginner guides cover this end to end: the Claude Code Guide, the OpenAI Codex Guide, the Claude for Work Playbook, and the Certification Prep Kit, all linked below. Subscribe here, follow on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you in the next one. New hands, new habits. Now you know the difference.